Jeremy Jacquet to Liverpool, here we go. That was an absolutely terrible impression of Fabrizio Romano, but here we are. Liverpool have gotten to here we go on Jeremy Jacquet. Excellent piece of business, €70 million all in, including the add-ons. For the summer, it's not for now, unfortunately, but he is a top-rated centre-back, a good deal overall. We will talk about the negative side of this as well, the fact that he won't be coming in right now, but overall a good deal in my opinion, and let's go through some of the stories around it. So let's take a look at how this deal came to happen, some of the details around it, some of the feedback from people around him and people who are far more educated on him than me. We're going to look at some of your comments from the WhatsApp group. Scan down there to join the WhatsApp channel if you do want to get involved in these type of videos in future. Aside from that, my name is Conor and I'm here to take you through all of the latest Liverpool news after Liverpool have agreed a deal to sign Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes. Let's start off with the Romano thing from last night then. So we did get to here we go. He said, breaking, Jeremy Jacquet to Liverpool, here we go. Deal agreed now for June 2026 as revealed. Understand the fee is €60 million plus 10 million add-ons to Rennes. Jeremy has agreed personal terms with Liverpool. Agreement done for summer 2026 for one of the most talented centre-backs in the world. And let's get this straight, like he is that highly rated. I can't say I've watched a huge amount of him myself, but everything you hear about this lad, he is going to be absolutely top level. Like we're talking Van Dijk successor levels here. That was then followed up this morning by David Ornstein, who said that Jeremy Jacquet is flying to the northwest this morning for medical today as all parties work to complete summer move from Rennes to Liverpool. 20-year-old defender is joining Liverpool on contract until June 2031 plus one after clubs agreed £60 million deal. So it will be a 5-year deal for Jeremy, and also there's an extra option there to add another year onto that contract, which I'm sure we will take. So basically a 6-year contract. Just to confirm as well, because people are confused around this, he is joining in the summer. It's not like we're signing him now and loaning him back. Same as Georgi Mamardashvili, this is the pre-agreement, so this will not impact this year's account. Will be recognised as a 26-27 season transaction, if you want to put it that way. It's on next year's books. It's not a signing we're making right now. It's a pre-agreement for the summer. No loans or anything. He just will sign for us in June. A little bit on how this came about then. He did look Chelsea bound. I think Calvé Solikol as well was basically saying he only wanted Chelsea, which turned out to be complete bollocks. But Fabrizio Romano last night said Jeremy Jacquet accepted the exactly same terms from Liverpool that was offered by Chelsea. Liverpool didn't offer extra money. They presented their long-term project, telling the player that he was going to be a crucial player immediately, so to be a big part of Liverpool restyling in the defence. On top of that then, I do believe there was some factors around the fact that Chelsea have like 4 or 5 kind of young centre-backs coming through. Of course, Liverpool have an ageing Van Dijk, we have Giovanni Leone, we've Joe Gomez who's probably going to leave, we've Konate who's probably going to leave. But even if Konate does stay, like it's still just like Van Dijk who will be gone after next year, and then Konate and Giovanni Leone, as well as Jacquet now. Like there's a far more chance of him breaking into that team. If you're looking at starting twos, and you're looking at like Van Dijk and Konate, Van Dijk and Jacquet, Jacquet and Konate, like these are all, if we do end up moving to a 3 at the back at some point, he will be slotting right in there as well. He is comfortable in that kind of formation as well. Let's say if Xabi Alonso does come in and we swap to a 3 at the back, he can fit into that. So I think as a sporting project in general, it is a better offer to him than Chelsea. But it is good to see that he was sold on the long-term vision and not just like a money thing, because if anyone's coming to Liverpool purely for the money, then I don't want him really. So it is good that he sold on the project. I'd be interested to see what exactly they did say to him, but either way, he has been sold on the project. He picked us over Chelsea, which is fantastic. And we also had Florian Plettenberg this morning saying that Manchester United tried to hijack Jacquet's summer transfer to Liverpool in the last hours, but were unsuccessful. Jacquet already had an agreement in place with Liverpool. So not only did we beat Chelsea, we bet Man United as well, which is always a nice one to have. A little bit on Jeremy Jacquet then. So of course he is 20 years of age. He has played 86 matches in his senior career, only 30 of them being for Rennes, by the way. So he played a lot of games for the Rennes B team, and he had a loan at Clermont Foot as well. So only 30 games in Ligue 1 with Rennes, but look, he's obviously highly rated. Again, Chelsea and Bayern Munich were in for him, Man United were in for him, and all the things you hear about him, he does seem to be a top level defender. So if they think he's worth that money, then look, I'm not going to question it. Fair play to them for getting the deal done. And like I know people will be annoyed that's for the summer, but if that's the difference between getting him and not getting him, then look, what can we do? Aside from that then, he is 6'2" or 6'3". I actually can't get a proper read on that one. There's different people are saying different heights, but either way, he's taller than Craig, because Craig isn't over 6 foot. Just had to get that one in there. He is right footed, and of course he is a centre back as well. Some stats around him then, and how he would fit into Arne Slot's type of build up play and stuff if he is here next season. He has a pass completion of consistently over 90%. He's very good at splitting the lines rather than recycling sideways, and he's happy stepping into midfield when pressed. And we know Arne Slot is kind of obsessed with this, like, breaking the first line of a press. And from what I've read, Jeremy Jacquet is very good at kind of like baiting the press in and then being able to do like a penetrative pass into midfield and to break that first line of a press as well. So like he will fit in. He's a very good and comfortable on the ball. Any highlights I've seen, he does look very good. Like he kind of has that, not say he's as good as Gravenberch, but you know, like Gravenberch can kind of just like angle his body to get past players. He just looks very comfortable on the ball. Like he has that in his locker. He's able to get past players. He can make them line splitting passes, and again, he has over 90% pass completion regularly in Ligue 1. So he's definitely very comfortable on the ball, which is very important in modern football. Some insight then from Ben Spolchak of Anfield Watch, he was speaking about, he said, I think it speaks volumes that Jeremy Jacquet captained France at under 16, under 18, under 19 and under 20 level. As well as a fantastic player, Liverpool are also getting a great character with leadership skills. He hasn't worn the armband at Rennes, but he can see his leadership qualities on the pitch. He's always dictating and commanding his teammates, something that stood out to me right away. Don't see this often with a 20-year-old centre-back. Ben's continued then to say that Jeremy Jacquet's ability in the air is something I want to highlight. A lot of people think being good in the air is to do with having certain physical attributes, but the reality is that a lot of it is cognitive. Jacquet's cognitive ability in this regard is at a very high level. From his positioning to his timing and judgment on the flight of the ball and where it will drop, he reads these situations superbly in Ligue 1. There's not many 20-year-old centre-backs about with this innate quality. He's won 70% of his 2.97 aerial duels per 90 this season, which is very good. And especially again at that age, like he does seem to be streets ahead of everyone in that age category in terms of just like the cognitive thinking and all these fancy phrases that people throw around. But yeah, he does seem a very clever player, and I'm sure that feeds into why he was costing £60 million. Like, and he's only going to get better. Like I'm sure, like, give him 12 months with Liverpool's conditioning team as well to really bulk him up nicely, get him really fit as well. Like he's going to be an absolute monster in the back, and I can't wait to see him play for us. Jeremy Jacquet then, back in October, he was asked who his idols in football are, and he said Van Dijk and Konate. That's interesting. I'm surprised that wasn't pulled up earlier, to be fair, when he was being linked with Chelsea more. Like, that quote really went under the radar. He was literally saying Konate and Van Dijk are his idols. So I'm sure him coming in and playing alongside, hopefully both of those, will be a big boost to him as well. It's also worth noting that Jeremy Jacquet has played for France under-21s with Hugo Ekitike, so I'd imagine Ekitike had a bit of a word there as well. I'm sure he will welcome him to the club with open arms and really help him settle in as well. So another bonus on that one, the fact he does know Ekitike, the fact that Konate is French as well if he is here next season, hopefully. Yeah, I just think this deal all round makes sense. Like, you can say maybe the fee's a little bit high, or maybe you're not really sure about the player at a young age, but I think ultimately the club think he's the man. A lot of other clubs are after him as well, and he will settle in quickly, hopefully, given the fact that there's other French players around, given the fact that he's so intelligent on the ball and off the ball already. So, yeah, good move all around. Let's read out some of your comments then. So again, in the WhatsApp channel, if you do want to join it, there's a QR code there, or there's a link in the description. So I asked simply, what do you make of the Jacquet deal? And let's read some of your replies. So this is from Mark, our moderator in the chat, of course. Mark said, it's a good deal, but we need centre-backs now. But like Craig said last night, if this was the only way we could get it done, then I'm glad we got it done. And I think that's fair. Like, we do need a centre-back now, but again, a player of his quality and a player as in demand as he was, if this is the only way to get the deal done, then at least we got it done ahead of the likes of Chelsea and Bayern Munich. So happy days on that one. Luke said, definitely good for the future. Baffled why we don't have someone in for now. If we drop out of top 5, we can't blame Slot alone for it. FSG/Hughes are just as much to blame, if not more. I wouldn't say more, to be fair. I think Slot ultimately is the bigger issue here, but 100% agree that they do need criticism for not like giving him a centre back now, not giving him everything he needed in the summer. Like, I know we spent a lot of money, but we were another at least one or two players light. So I would agree on that one. Wouldn't fully agree on FSG and Hughes being more to blame than Slot, but yeah, definitely leaving ourselves a bit short in the summer and now again. Like, we do need a centre back, and even that Geertruida move yesterday falling through. Like, I was really disappointed with that one. I thought that was a move that made a lot of sense, to be fair. So disappointing one on that, but yes, thank you, Luke, for your comment on that one. Mike Reese then said, sounds like a good deal to me, especially seeing that we beat Chelsea to the deal. That's a bonus in itself, and it is. Like, how many times over the years have we lost players to Chelsea? Like, I'm thinking Caicedo, Lavia. Like, there's a few players that have gone to Chelsea that we wanted over the years, and yes, definitely good to get ahead of them on this one. So yes, we have finally got some revenge on Chelsea for those deals that we missed out on. Next up, Oliver said, don't really know much about him. The only question I have is, why are we now willing to spend 3 times more on him than we were on Mark Gahey, despite him not being Premier League proven, experienced, etc. Also, why didn't we do similar future agreement with Gahey in September? Well, on the future agreement thing, I think we were just kind of hoping he'd stick to his word and no one else would come in for him in January and then we get him for free in the summer. I think that was always the plan. We were never really going to go back in January. Unfortunately, like, I don't agree with that, but that does seem to be the club's stance on it. On the fee, I fully understand people's frustration and confusion on this one. I don't know what exact formulas the club use, but I'd imagine it's something like, if we spend £60 million on Jeremy Jacquet, we could keep him, like, he's 20 years old, we could keep him for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years and still sell him for a healthy profit, or even just like near enough to what we got for him, while Mark Ahey is like obviously a lower transfer fee but then it's higher salary, and then like by the time he comes to the end of his contract he's like 30 or 31 and there's no, or not as much sell on value. Like, I'd imagine these are the things that get weighed up in this, and then no confirmation of what wages Jacquet will be getting at Liverpool, by the way, but I'd imagine it'll be a lot less than the 300 grand a week that Mark Ahey's coming in on. So I'd imagine just like in multiple factors, lower wages, higher sell on value, maybe a higher ceiling as well. I'm sure all these things come into play, but I do agree not getting Mark Ahey for 20 million was still a mistake and still a bit baffling. Last comment then, this is from Ryan. He said, it's at least a step forward in the right direction. We now have two of the most talented young centre-backs in world football, verge successors. I'm still not happy we have to wait till next season, but it's a positive at least. Still tons of questions. And I agree with that. Like having Jeremy Jacquet, Giovanni Leone, and then them 3 or 4 young lads we brought in the under 17s, 19s as well. Like, we are going to be stacked in terms of centre backs. If even, let's say, 2 of those come through into the first team at some point. We also have the buyback option on Jarell Kwanzaa as well. Hopefully Konate signs a new deal. Van Dijk will be here for another year then, and then Joe Gomez probably leaves. But like, let's say Konate does stay, and I hope he does. Like, having Konate, Leone, Jacquet, Van Dijk, and possibly Gomez as well, that's not a bad set of defenders, is it? In fairness, like, that is a very good set of options there. Like, maybe we bring in another one then if we are switching to a 3 at the back as well. Maybe we have at least 6, but it's not a bad start, is it? Even without Gomez, just having Jacquet, Leone, Van Dijk and Konate, that's a very, very solid set of options there. That's all from me this morning anyway. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. We'll be recording the podcast later on this evening. We'll have some clips out from that over the next couple of days, and the full podcast will be on Spotify and all good podcast apps. Keep an eye out for them. Just follow us on all the podcast apps. Just search Anfield Agenda, we should come up. Give us a follow, keep an eye out for that one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon.